Hello everybody and welcome to this presentation. I'm going to tell you something about the social enterprise Spijkerbikes, the company that provides cheap, sustainable cycling for a better world. Spijkerbikes is a social enterprise. It started because of a resident of the neighborhood, Spijkerkwartier in the city of Arnhem. He was annoyed by the amount of stray bikes in the neighborhood, probably caused by the students who live there and the train station. That's when the idea for Spijkerbikes started. An enterprise that gets rid of stray bikes, patches them up, and through that process improves the neighborhood. Because not only does it improve the neighborhood by getting rid of stray bikes, thus improving the street scene, it also helps people who are distant from the job market. They fix the bikes, and that combined with the social interaction helps them reintegrate and learn some new skills. Now, we've talked a bit about how Spijkerbikes started and a little bit about what it is, but we haven't talked about a Spijkerbike yet. Like I said earlier, Spijkerbikes patches bikes up. And since we're a business, we also have to sell a product, and that's a Spijkerbike. We sell or rent Spijkerbikes, and we also repair other bikes. But if Spijkerbikes needs repairing, we will do it for free. We will give Spijkerbikes a unique design. That way people will know it when they see a Spijkerbike. Hopefully start asking questions about bikes with yellow tires and maybe even get interested in using them. So here you can see an example of how a Spijkerbike will look like. First, it was a bike with bad tires and a rusty frame. So after a paint job to get some of the rust away and new tires, we have a Spijkerbike. Of course, we will get bikes that have been damaged more, and those bikes will need more work. But we know that our bike schoolmates are skilled enough to fix those bikes. And now we're going to talk a little bit about SDGs, or Social Development Goals. SDGs are goals that should help to make the world a better place. Spijkerbikes help to achieve 4 of those goals. First, goal 8, decent work and economic growth. Like I said earlier, it helps people who are distant to the job market by giving them a job, learning them new skills, increase their social interaction, and that gives them a sense of self-worth. Second of all, it might even help them get a paying job. Second are goals 11, sustainable cities and communities, and 12, responsible consumption and production. Spijkerbikes repurpose stray bicycles, which helps in creating a sustainable city and community. And by doing that, it sets a good example for people who may lead, which may lead to more responsible consumption and production. And last of all goals, 17, partnership for the goals. At the moment, Spijkerbikes is making connections with other initiatives and businesses that in their own way help try to reach those goals. But together we can do it better, quicker and more efficient and make the world a better place. Now, this is our social business model canvas. I hope it will give you a nice insight into the Spijkerbikes business side. We will follow the numbers on the social business model canvas. So let's start with the segments. Number 1. These are the people who benefit from our company. We have 5 categories for those. They are the local government, people with a distance to the job market, students, residents and tourists. Each one of those have their own color. That way you will know for whom the part stated in another part of the business model canvas is applicable. Now, number 2, the type of intervention. Spijkerbikes has 4 of those: rent, sale, reparation are for the customers, so for the students, residents and the tourists. Reintegration is the last type of intervention, and that's for the people with distance to the job market. By working here, we help them reintegrate into society. Now, to the next topic, the value proposition. Spijkerbikes brings value by creating social cohesion for students and residents. The easily recognizable look from Spijkerbikes will be a great icebreaker, and when people are waiting for their bike to be repaired or to buy them, it will be easy to talk to other people and get to know each other. Reintegration helps people with the distance to the job market, and the local government will also see the benefits from it, because it's always good to have more people on the job market and socially active in your town. And everybody benefits from cleaner neighborhoods, even the tourists, if they see a nice and clean Spijkerkwartier. And there are various ways to measure if Spijkerbikes has social impacts. Those are if the people are reintegrating get a paying job, if there are less stray bicycles, and if the neighborhood gets more of a community feeling. Now we will talk a little bit more about our customers. We expect 3 types of people: students who are interested in the cheap bike. We expect them to be interested in renting one for a small price, and it's also a huge bonus for them that they don't have to repair their bikes when it's damaged. Then residents who are interested in the benefits that Spijkerbikes has on the neighborhood, and for them it doesn't really matter if they buy or rent one. And lastly, tourists who want to rent a bike for a couple of days to check out the area. Now we go to number 5. What does the customer want to get out of this? Cheap transport is always nice, and that's something Spijkerbike delivers. Then the ease of not having to worry about damaging your bike, because Spijkerbike will repair it for you. Health. Biking is good for your health, so that's a benefit customers would get out of it. And lastly, the neighborhood will be cleaner, and that's a benefit to the people living there, so the students and the resident customers. But how will we reach our customers? Well, through the internet, with websites such as mijnspijkerkwartier.nl, a website for residents of Spijkerkwartier, social media, local newspapers and Arnhem Studiestad, a program with all sorts of activities and options for students in Arnhem. Now, let's go to the great parts. Well, you probably already know the key activities because they have been mentioned a couple of times so far. But here they are again: repairing, renting and selling bikes. But what do we need to do those activities? Those are key resources. They are bikes, money for parts and some for the rent, permits to actually be allowed to sell things, tools to fix the bikes, and a subsidy for the beginning of Spijkerbikes. Because we need to cover the costs of starting up, and we already get that subsidized by DASO 125. It's also important to know who our key partners or stakeholders are. The local government, because they give the rights for companies to remove stray bicycles from the street. To Switch, because currently we don't have those rights yet, and To Switch has them, so at the moment we are forced to buy stray bicycles from them. And the bicycle makers who repair the bikes and teach the people who are reintegrating to do it. And And that's the location of our shop and repair place, and they also give a subsidy. Now, how are cost structures? Our biggest expenses are something you kind of expect for a bicycle shop: parts, tools, and bikes, and well, the people working there. Parts and tools fix the bikes to fix the bikes that you currently have to buy from the switch, and the bicycle maker who repairs the bikes. Now we know how our costs are structured. It's also good to know how our revenue is structured, and well, it's selling, renting, and repairing bikes, so our key activities. And what are we going to do when we become profitable and get a revenue surplus? We are going to pay the people who are now reintegrating, so they don't have to go to another place to get a paying job. We will try to expand and become a bigger business. Start a repair cafe where people can have a drink while they wait for the bike. That would really help with creating more social cohesion. And well, that was our social business model canvas. I hope that has given you a good insight into the business side of Spijkerbikes. And it was also the last part of our presentation. So thank you for listening and watching. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them at the business fair. Bye bye.